Okay. Good evening and welcome to Sunday night. You guys saw we're going to have Michael's detecting tip of the week coming up, and everybody I know is going to be fired up about that thing.
On Sunday.
Especially that guy over there. He's really going to be fired up about sharing that detecting tip of the week. We've had an eventful weekend, haven't we, buddy?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we went on the road and let's just say it was definitely an adventurous trip, if anything. And we hope to go back to this place. It was really, really neat and lot of potential. We didn't really get on what we wanted yesterday, but again, we were very limited on time as I had a long ride. I had almost a 3-hour ride. And Michael had about an hour and a half ride. So, but we did get to investigate a couple of places. And Michael got to investigate one place in particular that he really loved. We went through a mud hole about 4 or 5 foot deep.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we got our trucks pretty muddy.
Yes, all our trucks got filthy. They were just nasty. And luckily, it was the first time I'd ever put my truck into 4-wheel drive, and I was able to get out of the hole. Michael went through the hole okay. I was a little worried about me, and my little Toyota really performed really well, and we were able to get out of that mud bog. That hole was deep, wasn't it, buddy?
It was. It really was.
Yeah. So we got a good crowd in here tonight. We're super excited to be here with you guys. Again, we had a long trip yesterday, but we had a lot of fun. We got to see some great history, and we're looking forward to going back to this place and bringing some really good content from this place, as well as, my other places and places you guys have seen before. But we are going to be bringing back a ton of content, hopefully over the next few months. From this new place, this new permission. So it was really a lot of fun.
And it was super dry, folks. I mean, it was really dry there.
Yeah, and what was so funny is we ran into this mud hole that was so deep.
I think it was either a spring or a creek fed that mud hole, because it was, when we dug a hole, I dug a hole probably a foot deep, and it was just powder. I mean, it's just dry.
Yeah, it was really, really dry. That's some of the driest dirt that I've dug in a long, long time. And again, hopefully when we go back, we will have had some rain and some other things too. But we've got a wonderful crowd in here tonight. And guys, thank y'all so much for being here. We hate that we missed Friday, but again, you guys heard we were on the road. So we decided we'd just move it to Sunday. And we take advantage of Sunday night, and hopefully we're not interfering with your football games and other things that are going on, but maybe you can have the football game playing over to the side and listening to us all at the same time. So hopefully that's what some of you are doing. So with that being said, Michael, let's give our shout outs for Sunday night. And again, thank you for being here. We are going to be talking primarily about the Legend 2 tonight. And for those of you that are members, I did send out a video on the Legend 2. So if you haven't checked that video out, it's the audio on it's not as good as I normally do. So be patient with that. But I did send out a video to the members and basically talking through the Legend 2. But we're going to go over a lot of that stuff tonight too as well. But go check out the video. If you're a member and you're part of the membership program, go check out the video that I put up this afternoon. And again, it will walk you through a lot of the things that we're going to talk about tonight as well. So again, hopefully you members enjoy that. And I did that specifically for you guys. And hopefully you can get some great information off of that if you're interested in the Legend 2. So let's do our shout outs real quick. Michael, we got old Pelon in the house. Says good afternoon, Brian and Michael. Glad to have old Pelon with us. Always great supporter. Digging Daryl with us. He says hello, everyone. MD4 Cash is in the house. Glad to have MD4. We got Tabitha Joy Parkinson in here. She said, hello, guys and ladies. Glad to have you in here with us tonight. Tabitha, we got Mr. Ohio Fred. Thank you, Ohio Fred. Appreciate the nice comment you left on the video the other day. We really appreciate that. DK1 Detectives in here. Glad to have him in here as always. Mr. Tex Kinsey's in here. He says, hello, people of Earth. So glad to have Tex in here. And we got Mr. Old Timer 50s. It's good to see some in here already. Yeah, we had a lot of people piling in early. Damian Thorne's in here tonight. Glad to see Damian. Like I hadn't seen Damian in a while. He's in and out. He's probably watching football.
Yeah, he probably is.
Oh, yeah, he is. And then we got Mr. Sniff It Out is in here. Glad to have Sniff It Out with us. We appreciate him joining us tonight. Mr. Gary Halls is in here. Says good evening, everyone, from the west coast of Southern Oregon. All the way out west there, Michael. We got Miss Aggie Hall from the Adventures in the house with us. Glad to have Aggie. We got Mr. LC Hunt. Says hi, gang. Appreciate you being here tonight, LC. We got Ricky Bennett. He's probably celebrating. His Georgia dogs are doing quite well. And glad to have Ricky Bennett in the house with us. We got Mr. 5 Mile Relic Hunter in the house. Glad to have 5 Mile. Mr. Digging Buddy. Glad to have Digging Buddy in here. Hopefully you got your backpack and not the backpack. What did I send? What was the last product? It was the backpack. So hopefully you got your backpack, Digging Buddy. Hopefully you're enjoying that. He was one of our winners a couple of weeks ago. We got Mr. History Digger, Mr. Rob Rizzo. And he's passing on the Riz to everybody. So glad to have Rob in the house with us. Mr. Timothy Brown, glad to have Timothy. Carrie Pope is in here. Says hello, everyone from Cincinnati, Ohio. Glad to have Carrie in here. Buzzsaw's in the house. Says good evening to all. Glad to have Buzzsaw in here. There's Miss Bells in here. Good evening, everyone. Bell said. Glad to have Bells with us. Mr. Trevor Van Horn is in here. Glad to have Trevor with us. Always a great supporter of the channel. And Mr. Ferris Grump is in the house. He's probably celebrating too. His Ohio State Buckeyes are doing really, really well, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are doing well. Glad to have you in here, Ferris Grump. There's Mr. Chris is in the house. Says good evening, Brian and Michael. So glad to have Chris in here. We appreciate him joining with us. Let's see here, Michael. Don't want to miss anybody. We got a lot of great people in here. Mr. Workman's Adventure is in here. Says good evening, everyone. Glad to have Workman's Adventure. Mr. Key Day Kid, Michael. You know what? I need to talk a little bit about the Key Day Kid.
Yeah,
we got something to share. Of course, the Key Day Kid is Casey from Excalibur Shovels, and we're super excited to have him in here tonight. So thank you, Casey, for joining in with us. We got Mr. Bobby Short. He says, hey, guys and gals. Glad to have him in here. Mr. Firefighter Detective. Glad to have Firefighter. Thank you for joining in with us. We appreciate you joining our channel tonight. Beneath the Bluegrass is in here. He says, good evening, everyone from Kentucky. So the Bluegrass State being represented, Michael. How about that? Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. There's Mr. Matt Johnson in here from Metal Detecting, Texas. I'm glad to have Matt in here. Mr. Piedmont Artifacts says hello, folks. Glad to have Piedmont Artifacts with us as always. And Michael, did I miss anybody?
I think you got everybody.
I think I did too. I think I did pretty good with that, Michael. So yeah, Fair Scrump says, I'm near Logan, Ohio in the winter, born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. So we'll let him slide because he's from Columbus, Ohio. So he's got a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Fair Scrump. Great supporter of our channel and always here and always representing. So we appreciate you, Fair Scrump. Real quick, Michael, since we got Casey in here, Casey has been generous enough, and I don't have it in the room with me, but Casey has been generous enough to let me try out a new shovel that he's been working on. And I actually used it yesterday. And like Michael said, it was really, really, really hard dirt. But it performed really, really well. And Michael, I like the shovel. I like the weight of it. I know I wanted a little bit heavier shovel. And I think Casey did.
It's called Mordred. You see that? The next comment.
Oh, okay. So he says the Carniflex is now the Mordred. The name better fits the word of Excalibur. Okay, I like it, Casey. Well, anyway, it did, just to give you a heads up on it, it did perform very well. Dirt was really hard where we were digging. I wasn't really dealing with the roots, and I really look forward to maybe trying it out with some of the roots and things that I deal with in our area, especially around some of these old oak trees and magnolia trees and scrub trees, and we're in the woods. So I really do look forward to trying that part out. I love that it's slightly got a curve. So go check out Casey's site. Casey, I don't know, do you have it up on your site at this point? But if you dig in the woods and you're going to need a shovel that's going to cut through roots, then that shovel is a good shovel. And I did enjoy using it yesterday. I'm probably going to use it a little more, Michael, as we go out in the next couple of times, and just going to test it out on some of these thicker roots and things that I have to cut through. But really looking forward to that. I appreciate Casey sending that to us and giving us an opportunity to test it out for him. And okay, so Casey says, yes, it is available. It's been a difference maker in rooty environments. Okay, yeah. And like I said, yesterday was the first time I'd ever put my hands on it. And again, I dug in like really hard dirt, but I was able to cut down through some of that too. It's got a slight V in the bottom of the blade, which is designed to sort of cut right through that root and sort of lock into it. So if you punch down on it, it will definitely cut the root into. Again, it performed really well. What did you think about the shovel, Mike?
Yeah, I liked it. It seems like it done good, especially in that harder ground. I've used it a few times, and it seems to cut through the roots pretty good. With that V, it's actually got a double V on the bottom.
Yeah, it does.
It has a curved blade, kind of a longer blade. You can get some good depth with it.
Let me see if I can pull this up while we're talking, Michael, and hopefully I can sort of show everybody. Let's see if he's got this where I can see here. Shop all. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see if he's got it here. He says he does. So let's see if I can find it. Where's it at? Where is it at? See the Cirque, the Galahad, excuse me. Arthur, Lancelot, Galahad. Where it is. I got it, Michael. So let's share it. Let's show everybody what it looks like. So they're not just wondering what we're talking about. So let me share that screen, Michael. We will put that up for our Oh, wrong thing, Michael.
That's a nickel.
Yeah, we're gonna share that too. So there it is. Let's see if we can get Michael and I back on here. Wait a minute. Let's see here, Michael. There it is. Okay. All right. So there it is. It's the Mordred wide and long spade. You can see it's got 2 double V's on it.
Can you change the color of that one, or will it change it so it's kind of dark? If you click on the color, just one color on there.
Let me see here. Let's see if that does better. No, it's not going to change the color. Okay. He said he just sent one to your phone, Michael.
Okay.
So I don't have it in the room. It's outside my truck, and so I didn't take that out of the truck last night, Michael. So yeah, and did you can you send it to me, Michael?
I hadn't got it yet.
Okay. Well, when it comes to it, we'll show it to you. But that's basically what it looks like. It does have 2 V's down here at the bottom. It's got a serrated edge on both sides. It's got a little bit of weight behind it.
I think he said it was 11-inch blade on it.
Yeah, he said it's 11-inch blade. So again, we appreciate Casey, and again, Casey enjoyed using it. Look forward to using it a little more. So you might see it in my videos coming up. So look forward to using that as well. So Michael, if you did it, or Casey, you can send it directly to me. I don't know.
It's got a curved blade on it too, as far as if you're looking at it from the side, it's curved.
Yeah. Gary Holt wants to know if that's going to be tonight's giveaway. Well, I don't know. Casey might can give one away tonight. So anyway, yeah, but it is a really cool shovel, and I enjoyed using it. But there it is. And he says the other blades that he has works better in rocky places, but that one worked really well for us yesterday, even though that sole was rock hard, and it did cut through a lot of that stuff. So again, thank you to Casey, thank you to Excalibur Shovels, and again, super nice shovel. And if you dig in a rooty area or in the woods or any place like that, this is a great shovel to have in your possession. Okay. All right. We're going to take that off there for a minute. And again, we appreciate Casey. Thanks, Casey, for being on. So this was, again, the first time I got to use that shovel, but I was impressed, really impressed with it. So again, thank you to Casey. All right. So I put up a picture just a minute ago. We're going to share that. We're just going to go ahead and knock some of this stuff out of the way. This was shared to me. This is a shield nickel. It was shared to me by Rito Marcella. And I said I wanted to sort of get back to sharing finds. So if you guys want to send a find or something my way, just for us to sort of show, hey, here's what we're finding in our area. Rito sent this to me. Casey just sent me a picture, which is good. So appreciate that, Casey. Wow. Wait till you see Casey's, Michael. I'll put it up in a minute. I'm sharing it to my computer. But anyway, this was sent to me by Rito Marcella, and it was a 5-cent shield nickel. He was real excited to find it. And again, these shield nickels are always in rough shape when they come out of the dirt. Yeah, so I don't know if Rito's on here, but he did send that to me the other day. So again, if you want to send me your finds and would like for us to share them, we are going to get back into doing that a little more. It's sransc@gmail.com. You can share your finds there, and we will be glad to feature your finds on the show. So again, thank you to Rito, and I'll let him know that we shared it on the live stream. So again, sransc@gmail.com. And we appreciate Rito sharing that to us. So, okay, Michael. So I want to upload this picture real quick. This won't take me but a second. And look at Casey's show. Check this thing out. So here it comes. Check that out. So that's
you won't lose that, will you?
Casey's Excalibur Mordred. Is it bright enough, Michael?
Yeah, that'd be tough to lose that one, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. You
I like
definitely
that,
wouldn't lose
though. I like that.
yeah, you definitely wouldn't lose that shovel. So again, if you're interested in that shovel, go check out Casey at Excalibur Shovels. And again, if you dig in the woods like me, I think it's going to be a good one for him. And again, there's his shovel. So this is what it looks like. You can see the two V's up there at the top. I think it's right there where the Nokta logo is. Michael, let me see if I can take that Nokta logo out for 1 second. There it is. Okay. So there. So you guys can see the two V's that we were talking about up at the top. That allows you to be able to cut through the roots. So again, go check it out. And if you're interested, get you one of these Mordreds. You're going to go out in the woods and have fun with it for sure. So yeah, Gary Holes wants to know how much for the fancy paint job. I don't know. You have to ask Casey that. He's the one. He's the man with the plan when it comes to that stuff. But that is a cool looking shovel.
It is. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about losing that for sure. Okay, so Michael, let's get this off of here for 1 second. Let's get us back on here for a minute. Michael the Legend 2, they've released or announced. I won't say they've fully released it yet because it hasn't been shipped or anything like that, but a lot of buzz around this new detector. And as always, there's a lot of hype that comes with new detectors. Casey said that it's $10 for that paint job. So I guess $10 on top of whatever the price is. But anyway, back to talking a little bit about the Legend 2. So again, new detector. They announced it last weekend. A lot of buzz about the detector, and I know a lot of people are interested in it. And you guys that have had Legends or are using the Legend, you're definitely going to be interested in it. And there's a lot of great things. When I started deep diving into it today, I realized that there's a lot of differences in it versus the Legend. And I wanted to share that with everyone tonight and to talk about whatnot that's got coming. And we're going to put.
Is there a video clip of?
There is, and I'm gonna play that video clip in just 1 second. But again, yeah, there's just a lot with this machine. So I'm going to share this screen. We're going to share the video clip, Michael, and then we're going to talk for a few minutes about this machine. And again, leave a comment. Are you interested in this machine? Are any of you thinking about possibly buying the Legend 2? Are you going to wait till after it gets out and people use it for a little bit? Or are you going to wait on testers or someone like me to use it before you decide to buy it? I'm real interested and curious about what's the temperature like for this machine at this point. And I know times are tough for a lot of people financially too, with the economy the way it is. And I'm not real sure what the price is going to be. Now, I've heard rumors that it's going to be right around $1,000, so $999 is what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten any real strong clarification on the price of this machine. But I know there are people out there that love the Legend. I know it's a great machine, the original Legend, and I'm gonna show you my original Legend and talk about what the differences are in this machine versus the old machine. And I will dive into that in just a second. But first, I want to share the video clip, Michael, and then we will go from there. So let me pull that up, and let me stop sharing this screen, and we're going to share this screen, Michael. This is like a work in progress over here today, Michael. All this stuff. All right, so we're going to share that. And there's the video, and I'm going to run it real quick, Michael.
All right.
Legend. wasn't just a machine. It was a promise. Between us and the ground beneath your feet. A tool that earned trust the only way that matters. One hunt at a time. But trust isn't where it ends. It's where evolution begins. Built on the DNA of a proven machine. Reforged by the voices of those who used it. Shaped by experience. Designed for tomorrow. Because what you're searching for isn't just buried treasure. It's connection to history, to the thrill, to the silence right before the sound. And sometimes, what you unearth isn't just a coin. It's proof that the story isn't over. The legend continues. With you. Because legends don't die, they evolve.
So what do you think of that commercial, Michael, or that intro?
It looks pretty interesting. I'd like to hear the tones on that machine. Hopefully, they'll have a demo or something coming up pretty soon, so we can kind of hear what it sounds like and some of the really what the screen, the layout looks like on the screen there.
Right. So, Michael, I did a deep dive today, and like I said, I put up a video for our members. If you're not part of the membership channel and you want to be part of it, then you can sign up for that. You don't have to. We're still going to be here sharing information. It just gives some of our people that really want to get a little bit more a chance to get a little bit more from us and from giveaways and badges and all those kinds of things. So again, if you want to sign up for it, it is there, but you don't have to. You just hit that join button down below at the bottom of the videos while they're playing, and you can sign up for membership. It supports our channel, helps us bring content, helps us pay for live streams and whatever, cameras, trips, all that other stuff. So again, you don't have to, but it is there. So did want to mention that real quick. But back to this. So I did a deep dive into a lot of this today, and I really noticed that they've done some significant things to improve this machine. And we're going to look at what some of those significant things are. And again, first off, let's look at this picture. And one of the first things that you notice is the screen, Michael. I really think that they tried to make this screen more user-friendly. As you guys remember with the original Legend, pull this out real quick. With the original Legend, and of course I've got the cover on mine, but you couldn't see these buttons at all. You had to have this cover in order to figure out what you were matching sometimes, and especially if you were hunting at night, like on the beach or anywhere like that. So the lighted keypad or the lighted backlit buttons, I think are a big, huge improvement. You also know too that when you would go and look through the menu, it was hard to sort of navigate and find some of those other subset menus underneath these things. So you almost had to know a whole nother language in order to be able to find those things. And now with this bigger screen, it gives them more real estate to where you're not having to click all these different buttons and different combinations of buttons in order to figure out what you're trying to get to. So I do believe that the user interface is going to be a lot better on this machine. And then, of course, you notice here too, you've got the 99 target ID. So I like the broader target ID spectrum. What do you think about the target ID spectrum, Michael? How do you feel about that?
I'm with you. I like the 99 scale a lot better.
Right. So the old Legend had a 60-point scale.
Right, 60.
And Yeah, and here's the problem with that. Everything tends to get bunched up, like really tied into certain signals. Whereas this allows it to sort of be spread out over that 100-point scale or 99-point scale.
Well, we noticed that a lot more with the Equinox 800. It was, what was it, 40? So it was even tighter.
Yeah. So, I was really, really, really glad to see that they went to this and they got away from that 60-point scale. There's a couple of recommendations that I made to them, and one of them I know that they did, and one of them I don't know yet, because until I get the machine in my hand, I don't know what they've done at this point. But we're going to talk about what those two recommendations were. And again, I know a lot of you are, really interested in this machine, but a lot of you want to see it in action. I have reached out to Nokta. I'll be honest to you, and asked them, hey, I'd love to share this machine on our channel to help our audience out and to, hopefully, get some information out there for people, especially when people buy this machine, showing the features, showing the setup, showing the menus. And you guys know I've got a lot of videos like that on my channel, as well as the hunt videos and, of course, the live streams and shorts and everything else that goes along with it. But, maybe I will get one to at least sort of show and get you guys familiar with it for those people that do end up buying this machine, because, it's got a lot of promise from what I've seen. But again, that remains to be seen. It's all sheer speculation at this point, and we're just going to have to see what it's like once they get it released. And again, I'm going to say this too, and I think Michael will agree with me on this. There's probably going to be some hiccups along the way.
Right.
Don't you think so, Michael?
Oh, definitely. Every machine that's come out, updatable machine, there's been something that's had been updated and fixed along the way, and that's just the nature of and it's good in one way, because we can update it and fix a lot of these problems. You don't have to send your machine back in.
Right. And an updatable machine is simply that. No machine is going to be perfect. And if anybody believes that there's going to be a perfect machine, then they're going to be in for a rude awakening. This machine is going to have issues to begin with. And what those issues are going to be, I don't know at this point, but they've all got little bugs and little things in them that they're going to have to work through and iron through. And my suggestion is, if you do buy this machine, be patient with it, and learn it. That's the main thing. But there's going to be some hiccups along the way at the beginning. And again, some of you may say, well, I might hold off, but I think that they're going to do a good bit of testing. They're going to put this machine out there for people to use, maybe a little bit early. Somebody like me, or somebody out here that runs machines and knows machines really, really well. And hopefully, some of those things can really get ironed out a little bit more before the official launch. And then again, we'll see what happens after the launch. But hopefully they've done their homework and it's going to come out, and it's not going to be a ton of stuff, to update with. So we'll see. History Digger says, I hope they put in the hands of some unbiased new testers. No interest in watching. Well, there's going to be people there, Rob. Yeah, there's going to be people that are going to be using it and testing it. And, but let me just say this. There's more to testing than just swinging this thing in your backyard. It needs to be run out in the field. It needs to be run on the beach. It needs to be run in the water. It needs all of that sort of stuff, and it needs to be applied, because just running it in your backyard is not going to tell you everything that you need to know about this machine. And it's just a given. You test
what
it.
kind of coal is going to ship with this machine?
We're getting to that, because there's some really, like I said, I did a deep dive today. And when I did the deep dive, I realized there's a lot to offer with this machine. So we're going to get into that as well. So Gary Hull says, I want a machine that will talk to me, tells me to go back to that good signal and dig it. We all want that machine for sure. And Anyway, let's keep going with this. But we talked about the 99 target ID scale, which I think is a great improvement over the 60-point scale. We've got the much bigger screen. You got more screen to deal with, so therefore they can put a lot more of those features on that screen where you're not hunting and pecking around to figure out where things are, which I think is going to be awesome. So I think the user interface is going to be much, much better on this machine as well. It's an all-terrain machine. Of course, they got park, field, beach, gold, and relic. So you've got those 5 different modes that you can use, or 6 different modes. I lost count of that. But anyway, you got park, field, relic, beach, and gold. So yeah, 5 modes. So you got 5 modes that you're going to be able to pick from and decide, hey, I'm in this type of environment. I'm going to use this here. And you can select your multi-frequency. A lot of those settings are going to be really almost the same. I won't say the same, but similar to what you saw on the Legend, from what I can tell. So, but yeah, that's it with that. But I really, again, I like the screen layout. I like that they've added more screen to deal with. I like you got the 99 target ID scale. I love that. I love the backlit buttons for a change. And I think that's going to help this machine out a ton. So anyway, back to some more things about this machine. And so if you look at this screen, you'll notice it says wireless firmware update capability. This is really good because this is going to allow you to update this machine with your phone. So, you know, if you don't have a computer, you don't have a Mac, or you don't have a Windows PC, now all you need is your phone. And Michael and I experienced this with the Rudis. We ran the Rudis Versa, and I really liked that wireless update. Just being able to update it, you really, for it, you had to punch in an IP address. Now, I know that I watched Delic and I watched the show last weekend, and they were saying that they're going to have an app that's going to allow you to update. So you're going to go straight to that app. You're not going to have to punch in the IP address and all that stuff like what we did with Rudis. I don't believe. Now, I could be wrong, but she said there's going to be an app for this to update this detector. What do you think about that, Michael?
That's pretty interesting. I think that's going to really simplify everything. I know, you know, we've used that technology before, like you said, on the Versa, but it wasn't that easy as it sounds like they're going to make it with that app. Hopefully it's going to work really well. And I think that's going to be, you know, they're the first ones to come out with that. That's going to be, most of these companies are going to go to that, I think. You know, we know XP's already got an app, and that would be, you know, something down the road that they could implement, you know, as far as updating machines.
Right. I would like to see all these manufacturers go to this. I think this is the wave of the future. I mean, you know, really honestly, you know, more people want to be more mobile. They don't want to be tied to cords, tied to computers. They want to be able to carry, just like your phone, you want to be able to carry it everywhere with you.
Update it in the field if you need to.
Yeah, update it in the field. The only problem with that is if you get into an area where there's not a good signal, not real sure how that's going to work. But I like the idea. I think that was a really a no-brainer for them, and putting that on there definitely is going to help with, you know, people being able to update and do the updates real quick, fast, and then, you know, keep on detecting. So again, they did a wonderful job. Right. Yeah. It's a huge upgrade with instant gratification. Right. You got your machine update. You keep on metal detecting. Yep. So I think that's going to be good. Hello, Delco Detecting. Glad to have you here with us. Appreciate you joining us tonight. So the other thing, Michael, that you notice from here is look at the arm cuff on here. So the arm cuff looks to be a little thinner. Of course, I've got my Legend here. Look how big this one is here. I mean, so I think the arm cuff is a little bit thinner. And then look at the stand. The stand actually has holes in it, but the old one doesn't. I mean, it's sort of big and bulky. And I think they cut some weight with the arm strap and the stand. What do you think about that?
It's adjustable too, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah,
The
you're going to be able, yeah. So if you've got long arms or short arms, you're going to be able to adjust the arm cuff. So you've got the arm cuff that looks to be a little bit thinner, more aerodynamic, a little more sleeker, Michael. And then you got the stand here that's going to be a little bit sleeker too, and a little more aerodynamic and lighter. So I think that they've definitely done some improvements there. And then the other thing that you notice on this picture is the shaft. Now the shaft is a round shaft, which is a little bit different from the old shaft. Right, Michael?
Yeah, I think it is. And it's all carbon fiber, it looks like, right?
It's all carbon fiber. It's a round shaft. It's got those it's not cam locks, but those locks that sort of clip down onto it. And the thing that makes this really nice with this round shaft is you can take the coil and you can turn it sideways and then lay it down flat by turning the shaft. And then that way you can throw it in a backpack or throw it, make it very compact for easy transporting. If you get on an airplane or something like that, I think they're really going to see a big benefit now that they've got this round carbon fiber shaft. And of course, the carbon fiber is going to make it lighter, Michael. This machine's going to come in at 2.6 pounds. And then, of course, there are some other coils that you can add to this, 2 smaller coils, a 9-inch coil and an 8 by 5.5. And that's going to make it even lighter, too. So, again, it's going to be a very light machine as well with that carbon fiber shaft. So, again, I love what they've done with this because I do think it's sleeker. I think it's lighter. There's a lot of attention to detail with this. And we'll get into some more attention. If you look at the box, Michael, it's a lot thinner, and I think you can sort of see that from this picture. Let me see if they got a better picture of it on here. Let's see if this guy. Yeah, there's a good picture. See how thinner it is versus this big old thing? I mean, this thing is a clunker compared to that. So the remote head is a lot thinner. The handle is a lot different too. It's got sort of a little slant to it, but it looks to be thinner too as well, Michael. So I don't think it's as thick as the old handle. But again, definitely good attention to detail. They did say that the coils for the original Legend will not work on the Legend 2. So if you have the original Legend, you're still gonna have to upgrade to the newer coils. Now, speaking of coils, Michael, you asked me a few minutes ago, if you buy this machine, the only way it's going to come is with the 11 and Michael, you're going to get the 8 by 5.5. So you're going to get 2 coils when you buy this. And you're also going to get wireless headphones.
Right. And what did you say? A 9-inch would be an option to buy?
The 9 inches, it's going to be sort of like what MindLab's done with the Manicore. The 9-inch will be an accessory that you'll be able to add. And I'll show that in just a minute. But again, you can see that there's a lot of attention to detail. The other thing, you're still going to have the vibrating handle, Michael, and you're also going to have the flashlight. So the flashlight on the Legend, and I know some of you don't care about the flashlight, but for those people that are beach hunters, they're really going to care about this. But that flashlight was sort of straight up. This one is sort of, from what I can tell, it was sort of tilted just slightly. So it gives you a broader coverage area, the way that they've got it sort of slightly slanted. And I think I heard her say they didn't intentionally mean to do it, but then when they did it, they realized, hey, this is actually really good, the way that we have slightly tilted it, I believe. But anyway, it's going to give you a wider range of light. So you're going to be able to see more, so more visibility for you guys that maybe hunt at night. If you're on the beach, I know some people hunt on the beach at night because it's cooler. So that light being able to give you more coverage area I think is a really neat thing too. So, and again, we're breaking this whole thing down piece by piece, but those were some of the things that I picked up on for the aesthetics of this machine, and I'm impressed with it. What do you think about it? What do you see maybe could be a con or a pro for this design?
I mean, the only thing I could, when we've ran into this with the Manicore is having to turn your line your coil up with that ramp.
Yeah.
But it is nice, like you said, because you can turn it and it lays flat and it fits in a pack, and that's what's nice about that design. So there's trade-offs with either style. So
Right. Yeah. So and Michael's talking about the way you line up that coil, and that can sometimes be a hassle. I think you and I've just sort of gotten used to it.
right.
And it might take you some getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's really no big deal. So I like it. I like it a lot, and it's I think the design of it is pretty sound. And we know that Nokta makes good, durable products from what we've seen. I rarely ever see anybody complain about something breaking on the Nokta machines. Have you, Michael? As far as the shaft or the coil ears or anything like that, have you seen a lot of that? I have.
Not
Michael's glitching on me tonight.
it looks like they kind of used that yoke style lower shaft, that goes in encapsulate the coil, like the MindLab Manicore, and that is a stronger design, where it fits over the top of it.
Right. So and 5 Mile says, people talk about how heavy the Legend is, but it doesn't bother me at all. But I'm down for a lighter. Yeah, you're gonna love this 5 Mile. I mean, if you've never swung a lighter machine than the Legend, I mean, this thing's at 2.6 pounds, which puts it right in a very good area as far as weight. And then if you add some of these smaller coils, then that's going to make it even lighter. You're going to love that too. So, but again, we'll see how all of this plays out as this thing gets off the ground. So let's look at these accessories, Michael. So you can get a 15-inch coil, which is called the LD38. So for you guys that are looking for more ground coverage, then you can get the 15-inch coil, and it's a 15 by 12. That's a big monster, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, that is.
Now, that one might make you feel a little bit heavier. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's gonna be you'll be able to feel that one. The 9 and the 5 by 5 by 8 or 5.5 by 8. That's gonna be like a that's going to lighten it up. Now, is that weight? You said what? 2.6 pounds? Is that with the 11?
I'm assuming that's with the 11-inch coil. Here's the 11-inch coil. Here's the 8 by 5.5. And then, of course, the Bluetooth low latency headphones, which, again, real easy to connect. And then the USB charging cable. So this is what you get when you buy the machine. Now, she did say last weekend that they weren't going to do a pro pack, but that's not to say that some of the dealers don't put together some sort of package deal. Maybe they include the 9-inch or they include the 15-inch in some sort of package deal once they get to some of the dealers. Maybe they throw in an AccuPoint or something like that to go along with it. But she did say that they were not doing a pro pack initially. So just give you guys a heads up on that. But back to these accessories. So you got the 15-inch, and then the one that I recommended to her last year. I said, look, you got to have a 9-inch coil because all the major manufacturers have 9-inch coils. MindLab has a 9-inch coil. XP has a 9-inch coil. You need a 9-inch coil. And she listened, and she listened to all of us who have said that, and there we go. So Nokta has got a 9-inch round coil that they're going to have with this, and it's called the LD22. And again, Michael and I love the 9-inch on the Manicore, and we love the 9-inch on the Deus 2, and they're going right along with the other two major manufacturers, and they're going to have a 9-inch coil too. which I really love. I think the 9-inch coil gives you great depth. It also gives you great separation.
Right. That's probably my favorite size is for the round 9-inch.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to see that they did that. And again, that would probably be the coil. If I were going to get this machine, I would want that coil.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. Over any of the others, but again, I haven't run it yet. Hopefully, it performs like I've seen with other 9-inch coils, and that would be the one though that I think that would be the home run hitter for me. It would be. Let's see here. All right, yeah. History Digger says nice to see the availability of bone conduction headphones. So yeah, you see those there, underwater bone conduction headphones. If you guys are not familiar with bone conduction headphones, what they do is they go around the outside part of your ear, right here, almost where your temple is, maybe a little bit below it on your jawbone almost, and it will vibrate. Now, when you're underwater and you've got waterproof headphones, those waterproof headphones will fill full of water, and of course the membrane inside can't vibrate to make the noise. So it becomes really muffled sometimes, even with waterproof headphones. Yeah. And so with bone conduction, you really don't have to worry about that. And Nokta has released some bone conduction headphones for the Legend 2. And I think that's a great addition to this as well. The machine is rated for 16 feet under the water, and that's pretty good depth. I really wouldn't want to go more than 8 feet at the most, no deeper than a swimming pool. But 16 feet is what it's rated for. And now you got a pair of bone conduction headphones so you can hear. You don't have to worry about that membrane getting all that water inside of it and not being able to vibrate and give you the sound that you need. Now you got these bone conduction headphones. And then the final thing on this accessories, Michael, is this external waterproof battery. And I don't know if you guys paid attention to the beginning of that video, but at that beginning of that video, you saw them with that external waterproof battery attached. So again, give you more battery power. Take it in the water, you can run it a little bit longer, and so on. What do you think about that, Michael?
I think that's a good option. I know a lot of people use those on the Manicore, and that brings us to another question. What's the advertised battery life on that machine?
I don't know. I have not seen any. Now, I'm not saying it's not out there, but I have not seen it. And I didn't see anything in it on it today when I was doing my deep dive into it. My guess is 10 hours.
Yeah.
10 to 12 hours, I would think. That's just a guess, though. I don't know for sure. And again, let's go back to another thing that's being said about this machine, and that is the idea of more power, Michael.
Yeah.
So they're making that statement too. So we got more power, better performance. So what is that going to mean? What is that more power going to be? Is it going to be that it's deeper because of more power? Is it going to be that it improves the performance because you've got more power? What is that going to be? And nobody's really sort of clarified that. And I'm assuming, like I said, once you get this machine in your hands, then maybe we can find out a little bit more. But
right, and that's going to be the thing as far as charge time, how long it takes to charge.
Right, and we know for a fact what we've seen out of the Manicore is that that you run that machine pretty hard, or you run the backlight, or you start running lower frequency programs, or you start upping the sensitivity, or you've got the volume turned up. All that stuff is battery drainers on the Manicore. Yeah. And is this machine going to be plagued with the same sort of problem as the Manicore? I don't know the answer to that question, but they are giving you an external battery, which my lab didn't do. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes me wonder with them providing that external battery option, as far as the battery, we know a larger screen, a lot of time that really cuts into your battery life, the Manicore. And it does take, you might as well figure on the Manicore, it takes about as long, if you use 5 hours of battery, it takes 5 hours of charge time to get it back to full.
Yeah, and that's another thing. How long is it going to take to charge this battery on this Legend 2? I mean, is it going to be like the Manicore where it take? I mean, you got to leave that thing plugged in forever. It seems like to get it charged. So that'll be another thing that I'll be interested in seeing, battery life. And then the main one. This is the main one, and this is the one that I mentioned earlier, was the audio, Michael.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to them last year when we were talking about, hey, what would you, they asked me, hey, what would you like to see in a machine? And I pretty much told them, these are the things that I would like to see on your next machine. So they got the 9-inch coil. They did that. So that was one thing that I suggested to them. The other thing that I suggested to them was the audio. And you've run the Legend and you've run the triple score. You've sort of seen those in action. Of course, I've got both of those machines, and they're great machines, and the audio is not bad, but it always seemed to me like it was just missing that oomph to it. Like it was sort of, I don't know, I won't say weak sounding, but it wasn't as strong and as clear as what I would like to have seen out of it. So my question is this audio going to be the same audio that we had on the Legend and triple score, or is it going to sound totally different, maybe stronger, maybe louder, maybe more crisp? What are we going to get with the audio? So that'll be the key thing for me, because all this other stuff is great, and I love that they've done all these things, but the audio part of it is really key as far as being able to just know when you're over that target that's a good target.
The wireless headphones, with the original Legend, I don't know if they're going to use the same design, the same headphones.
It looks to be the same. Now I don't know, Michael. Like I said, it looks like the same set of headphones, low latency. I think it says aptX headphones. So that's what
I would like to see an updated headphone for that machine, because
well, there they are. I mean, they're showing you right there, and it looks just like the originals. Where is my originals? Here they are. It looks just like, I mean, that looks the same to me.
It does. It really does. Now, there could be newer technology in them or better speakers. I don't know.
They have not said, but that's a great question. But those are the original headphones. What I wish they would have done, Michael? I wish they would have made some lighter weight headphones.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Or, here's another thing. What about a module that would work with that machine?
Yeah, I'd love to see that too. So, I mean, we're coming up with other things too that they could have added.
Right.
But I would love to see, and I know we're talking about the Legend 2, but there's another machine that was just released, the Vanquish, and they did come out with a pair of lighter weight headphones, the little earbud type things.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that for this machine, and maybe they do come out with something like that in the coming months or so. Who knows? But again, I would have loved to have seen a little lighter weight headphones for the summer and being in the heat. That would have been really, really nice. The module would have been really nice, so you could plug in, for whatever headphones,
whatever earbuds, whatever you want.
Yeah, sort of like what MindLab did. But I don't know. Maybe that's something they're working on. I have no idea. But those are also some great suggestions. Thomas F said, "Hey, get the trifecta: the Manicore, the Deus 2, and the Nokta Legend 2." Could be, Thomas. You never, like I said, we just don't know. We don't know. Rick Robinson says same weight as the triple score, 2.6 pounds is what they got listed. Yeah, we just said that. Yeah, don't forget the external waterproof battery. We just talked about that. Thank you, Digging Dude. Yeah, hit that like button. Again, I did a lot of research today and sort of, looked at this thing really, really hard. So we could sort of pick it apart and look at some things and what we were, looking forward to. What are some things that we were sort of shocked by? What are some things that really look good on this machine? So that's what we've done. And I think that Nokta's done a good job with this. The History Digger says, I love a pair of wireless XP, a wireless XP machine with a bigger, more informative screen. Right. Well, I mean, you know where I'm at on that one too, Rob. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. Yes, I'm excited about the wireless. I think that's a great option. All the manufacturers, they need to follow Nokta's lead and do those wireless updates. Yes, Thomas said, thank you. Smash that like button. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for saying that. Thomas F says, I bet at some point XP Deus will make a machine that updates wirelessly and makes the screen like the Legend 2 and the Mana Core. That would be awesome. We'll see. You never know what XP's up to, for sure. Digging Buddy says, those bone conducting are wired. I assume yes, they are wired. Bluetooth really doesn't work well when you go under the water. It can't transmit the signal. So again, that's why these bone conduction headphones are a great addition for that. And they work awesome. So if you go under the water, you don't have to worry about not being able to hear those sounds. They said your old headphones will work with L2. There you go. So apparently they are the same.
Yeah.
Digging Buddy said that we should design a machine. Well, Michael could build a mold for a machine, couldn't you, Michael?
Probably.
Yeah, we could do that. Thomas F said that sounds like a great idea. Again, I'm going to say this. We're just guys that enjoy metal detecting. We're not experts. We're not engineers. We love history. We love talking with you guys. We love getting out and hunting, and that's all it is. And we love talking all these detectors and what's going to happen with them. And so that was a lot of the information from what I got out of my studies today. So a couple of other things, they are going to have the FerroCheck feature. For those of you that have run the Legend, you know what the FerroCheck is. Helps you sort of discriminate some of that iron versus some of the good targets, which is really cool. And you can look on your screen and be able to see that. So they're saying that's improved as well. And then again, the strong, clear audio, Bluetooth, low latency headphones are included, which we just talked about. We talked about all terrain and targets in park, field, relic, beach, and gold. And the relic mode is another interesting one. And you guys that had the triple score or had the Legend are probably familiar with that relic mode. It allows you to go really, really deep, really good for hordes, large objects as well. So again, they've added the relic mode to this as well. So I think that's really cool. You're going to have 7 tone options, Michael. So again, you're going to have a good variety of tones to pick from, which is really, really cool. Light and compact, which we said 2.6 pounds. It again, rugged and durable. We've got 5 single frequencies. So if you want to go into a single frequency, maybe you want to just hunt for silver, or you want to run at some of those lower frequencies for some of those higher conductive targets like 4 or 10 or 15, then you could use that. If you wanted to hunt for more gold, brass buttons, those types of things, then you could go to a single frequency and you could use any of those single frequencies as well. So I'm glad that they still included the single frequencies to go along with the multi-frequency. Michael, what do you think about that?
So the 7 tone options, I'm assuming is going to be 1 through 5 pitch and probably full tones, right? I would think.
I think so. I know they got a pitch. I want to say that there was another one that they had. I thought I could be wrong. I can't remember.
So it may be 2, 3, 4, 5, and
yeah, I'm sure 2, 3, 4, 5, and probably I know they had like 60 tones. So maybe now they have 99. Where you could select all the tones, and then of course the pitch tone. And so I think those are going to be the tones. I haven't found that information yet. I'm on their website right now, but they did not specifically state what the tone options were. So again, rugged and durable. We know that most of their machines, this machine was built like a tank. You can't hurt it for sure, could you, Michael?
No, it's a tough machine. It's built very well, and I hope hopefully the Nokta 2 is built just as stout.
Yeah, I hope that the Legend 2 is going to be just as stout. Even though it's lighter, I still think you're going to get some of that ruggedness and durability that Nokta is known for. Oh, here's the other thing. We didn't mention this. There is a when you go to pinpoint, Michael, now you're going to get the target ID of the target that you're pinpointing.
Yeah, I did see that in the features. So that's a nice feature,
Right. So Matt just said, I hope it has a it needs a kickstand. It does. It's got the this thing right here on the back of the original Legend. It makes it where it stands up. So if you set it down on the ground, it won't flop over. If that's what he's referring to. So again, but I love the idea of the pinpoint with the target ID, Michael. And we've seen another machine like that too. When you go to pinpoint, that you will see that target ID. And I think that'll help with discerning whether you're digging treasure or trash. Right, Michael?
That's right. That's going to help out a lot,
Yeah, I think it will too. And again, that's another big improvement. And they assured everyone last week that most of this stuff is all new hardware, all new software. So it's different from the original Legend. So again, stuff like this, definitely those are improvements and things that had to be made to the hardware and the software. So again, I love the idea of a pinpoint with a target ID, don't you?
I do, because does any of the other machines have that feature that you can think of?
Which one? You talking about the target with the target ID?
Yeah, with the target ID.
I thought did the Versa have that, Michael? I can't remember.
Maybe it did. I can't remember either. I don't think the Manicore or the Equinox series did.
No, none of those machines had it. I thought, but I could be wrong. I mean, I know we had dual mode and we had some of those other things on that Versa, but I like this. I think this is a great addition to this machine with that target ID, and I think it's going to cut down on you keeping digging on some trash when you can pinpoint it and you automatically see, hey, this thing it's got a low number and it's probably iron, or it's something I really don't want to dig. So again, that I think that's going to be a big improvement, don't you?
I do. I really do. Yeah, because I mean it's going to actually show. We've all pinpointed, and that pinpointer. Sometimes if there's iron in there, it will go to the iron. It'll actually pinpoint. And with that, being able to see that target ID,
you wouldn't be able to know. I mean, but the thing is, though, if you're beside a piece of iron and you got a non-ferrous target next to that piece of iron,
right.
Are you still going to be pinpointing on that?
That's a good question.
I don't know, but I think it's going to help. It's just another piece of data for you when you're digging the target. And I'm all about the more data, the quicker and more efficient you're going to be with your hunts, because you're not going to be spending a lot of time, maybe digging a target that turns out to be trash.
Right.
When you've got a feature like this, I think that's going to help you in a lot of cases. So I think that's a great feature. Again, we talked about the larger battery. So again, longer runtime, even though they haven't stated specifically how much runtime we're going to get. And then adjustable threshold. So I did see this. You're going to be able to adjust the volume and the pitch of the threshold, Michael. So I don't really run threshold that much, but I know people that run it on the beach, and I have run it on the beach occasionally. But I'm sure for beach hunters and and people that like hearing the threshold, I think that's going to be a nice improvement too. So they've listened, and that's the thing that's, impressive. They listened to what people wanted. Like I said, I know I gave them 2 suggestions, and it looks like they tried to hit on those 2 suggestions. There goes I activated my AI thing. But I activated, I gave them those 2 suggestions, and they paid attention to it, Mike.
Yeah.
So, yes. Let's see. Matthew McCann says, I hope the ID is steady with the 99 scale. And that remains
That's a good question too.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. Even with the mana core, as good as it is right now, that ID can be jumpy on certain things. Especially on targets that are not perfectly round. They're misshaped targets, like a button that might be tacoed over, or a belt plate, or any of those types of things. If they're bent or they're misshaped, a coin that's maybe cut in half or maybe got a chip out of it, those IDs tend to be a little bit bouncy. That'll be interesting, though, to see what this machine does with targets like that. Don't you think, Michael?
Yeah, especially at death. A lot of times if you have a deep target, some of these machines tend to get really jumpy, or, how deep will an ID a target, the proper ID,
right.
That's something we'll have to take a look at too.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I'm real interested to see how that does, because we know that the mana core can be a little bit jumpy on certain targets, and that'll be interesting to see what happens there with that. So I think that's just about it, Michael. We talked about what was in the thing. So we said there were 2 coils. So if you buy this, you do get 2 coils. You get the 11, and you get the 8 by 5.5, and you get Bluetooth headphones, and of course the wireless charging cable. So you're getting a lot. My question is, though, how much is it going to be?
Right.
Again, the rumors I've heard have been $9.99. But again, that's 2 coils, Bluetooth headphones. You're getting a lot for $999 if that's what it's going to be.
Right.
So we'll see. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Our buddy Connor says he dug a 1853 seated Liberty quarter today at an 1800s house. Good job, Connor. Congratulations on that, buddy. Yes. And then he said he got an 1858 flying cent. So congratulations, Connor.
Well, that was a good day.
Yeah. David Fraser says, is it lighter than the Legend? 2.6 pounds is lighter than the Legend. I think the Legend came in at 2.9, if I remember correctly.
Well, it did, and the weight distribution on the original Legend.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the triple score, they actually moved that. And the triple score, it's great to swing, and it's the same weight. So if this machine is weighted just like the triple score, I mean, you could swing it all day long, no problem.
Right. Rob's got a good question. What about the pinpointer? Are we going to be able to pair
that is a good
this machine with the pinpointer? And I don't know the answer to that, Rob. At this point, they haven't mentioned it. And again, I don't have the machine to tell you. So again, that's something that we're just going to have to wait and see as far as the pinpointer and headphone integration. And again, I know some people love that feature. I don't really use it that much, even with the Deus 2. But some people love that. They love hearing the pinpointer through their headphones as well. So that'll remain to be seen until we actually get one of those machines in our hands. So we'll see.
You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
I'm pretty sure that's the 9-inch coil there. And I guess they don't have a picture of it yet. They got it labeled as the 8 by 5.5. You see that on the website?
Yeah, they do look the same, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So that's on their website. So we're looking right at it.
Yeah.
5 Mile says that he doesn't use the AccuPoint and headphones together either. I don't. Like I said, I know some people that love using it that way. It's not that big of a deal to me. I can still hear it. Do you? You don't do that either, do you, Mike?
I don't. I have used it before. As far as you talking about the AccuPoint or with the Deus?
I'm talking about with any of your machines. With
With
the
the
day.
Deus, I have used it if I'm hunting in a spot where there's a lot of people around. But most of the time, I use it unconnected.
Right. Well, again, there's a final picture of it, and you guys can go on Nokta's website and check it out. They do have all this information up. And again, I did a deep dive into it today, and some of you brought up some questions that they don't have answered on here. I can't answer them because, again, I don't have the machine. But as soon as we get our hands on one, then hopefully we can share some of that information with you. So again, the headphone and AccuPoint integration, what the IDs are going to be like. Are they going to be a little bit jumpy on targets? That's something too that remains to be seen.
Right. Maybe not in the next few days. We'll have a video where we can hear the tones and they'll show some of the interface on this machine.
Right. 5 Mile says that he puts his on vibrate if there's people around.
Yeah.
So you don't hear the
Another way
people.
to do it. Yeah.
Well, most of the places we hunt, there's not anybody around but us in the hood house. So we don't have that. We don't have that worry. If we were on the beach, that might be something that we would use. But again, it's whatever you guys like. I mean, if that's something you like and you enjoy using it that way, I would strongly suggest doing it.
Yeah.
But again, when this machine finally gets in our hands and in others' hands, then hopefully we can investigate some of these things. I'm definitely can ask Nokta about some of these things too. So I might reach out to them and sort of let them know, hey, we were talking about the machine on our live stream. These were some of the things that people were curious about, and maybe they'll get back to me and I can share that information. So
Right.
I'll see if I can reach out to them, and maybe they'll respond back, and we can get some more information on this machine. But the one thing I can say is that right now at this point, every addition and every change that they made were changes that I think people asked for. And I think that's a good thing because they're listening to what the people actually wanted. Like I said, they even listened to me when I told them, hey, you need a 9-inch coil. Hey, I want to see the audio improved. And I did share those suggestions with them at the end of last summer is when I shared most of that information with them. So they did listen to that, and they look like they've done that. The lighter shaft, the machine being lighter, all of those are things too. I know people wanted that. A lot of people heard that quite frequently. Hey, this machine is really, really heavy, and we would like to see a lighter machine. So I know that they listened to that. And then again, you can see some of the small attention to details, the arm cuff, the stand with the being able to move the arm cuff up and down. Those are things too that I think people will enjoy. Also, the light, having more visibility, being able to shine more light out in front of you. That's a small detail, but that's something that I think people, are going to like.
Right. I do too.
Yeah, I think people are going to really like that. I also think that it being as more collapsible and being able to turn that coil, to where it lays flat and put it in a backpack. I think that was something that was
Well, they
suggested.
had that nice backpack they released not too
I
long ago.
know, and we gave away one of those backpacks about a month ago, right, Michael? Wasn't it about a
That's
month ago?
right.
Yeah, and since we're talking about that, look real quick before we get out of here, don't forget our dealer here, Mr. Mike Howell at LMS Metal Detecting. Again, if you are interested in a Legend 2, he can probably get you on a waiting list. So he's out of town right now. So, but he will be back this week. So if you are interested in Legend 2, check Mike out. He can get you hooked up. Tell him you saw it on Southern Relic Adventures, and he'll get you on a waiting list if you are interested in one. And his number, his information scrolling across the bottom. Go check out his website, his store site. He's got tons and tons of things metal detecting related, all sorts of different metal detectors, gear, a lot of things that a lot of us love to use. So again, go check out LMS Metal Detecting, sponsor of our channel, and a great guy to deal with. Service after the sale. And again, he will not take your money until the machine comes in. So if you do get on that waiting list, he'll call you up, he'll send you an email. Mike even sends out manuals and instruction manuals and videos and things to help you once you buy a machine from him too. He is very, very, very thorough.
Sure is.
Yeah, and he listens to you even after the sale. If you got a question, he doesn't mind answering a lot of those questions. So check out LMS Metal Detecting in Merle's Inlet, South Carolina, and Mike can get you hooked up and running. So definitely give him a shot. All right, Michael. Well, we've talked up the Legend 2. And what did you think?
It's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to, see what the tones, the interface on the machine looks like. I think it's going to be a good machine, no doubt. And the price is another thing,
Right. Gary, thank you so much. And that's what we're trying to do, just sharing information for people that are interested in these machines. If they've got the machine, they want to know how to use it. They want to see what it does out in the field, how it performs. And I know a lot of you are going to be interested in this machine. And like I said, it's going to be an interesting next couple of months as this thing begins going out the door. But we'll see what happens with this. Again, I don't expect it to be everything's going to be perfect on it right out of the door. It's not, because like I said in the beginning, there's no perfect metal detector. There's going to be little hiccups and bugs probably at the beginning, but not just really good at working those things out too. So be patient, and let's see what happens with the Legend 2.
Right.
And again, hopefully, maybe we'll have our hands on one in the coming months, and we can share some of this information with you guys as well. But Gary, thank you so much for the great comment. Yes, I'm hoping so too. And again, you guys know how to do. I'll test it. I'm not a big fan of showing, the testing part of it, because I know most of us want to see what it's doing out in the field. And I'll talk about the settings that I use with this machine. I'll talk about the features on this machine. I will show you how to get through those menus on this machine. That's basically what I want to bring to anyone that decides that, hey, I want to purchase this machine, or I have purchased it, but I need a little more information on it. And I'll do a lot of the legwork for you, and then you can decide how you want to set your machine up. But I'll show you what I use, what I run, what those features are, what those settings are. That's what we hope to do when we finally do get our hands on one of these Legend 2s. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But again, we'll see what happens with this, and we'll be monitoring it. I will ask Nokta a couple of these questions that were brought up tonight and see if I can get some more definitive answers to some of this stuff. And if I hear back from them, then I'll be glad to share that information on an upcoming video. Mike, were there any questions that you had about the Legend 2?
No more than anybody else had on here. I think we covered it, and we had some great questions. So we'll just have to see how if they get back to us on it.
Yeah. And you guys are so awesome, because y'all had some great questions, and you had some great ideas too, that I'm going to share with them, and maybe they'll listen. Like I said, it's in the beginning phases, so nothing's out of the realm of possibility that they don't add some of the things that we talked about too tonight. Like maybe a lighter weight headphones that you can add to it. maybe a module,
Yeah,
like
that could
Michael.
come down the road. Yeah.
Maybe those are things too that, because it's in the beginning stages, those are things that they could possibly add. I don't know, but I'll be glad to bring it up with them and ask them. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. All right, guys. Well, we're going to head out of here. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your work week. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Michael, and we'll be glad to help you out any way we can. We've got some content coming. I've got a little bit of content coming this week. We didn't really do a lot of filming yesterday because we were sort of trying to get the lay of the land yesterday. But man, there's some great things. There's a great story to tell about this place where we're going. And then, of course, we'll be back at some of our regular spots too. And so I know we're going to have some great content coming from there. And we'll be back next Friday night for our regular time at 7:30 p.m. We do have some guests scheduled. Hopefully, I can finalize some of that stuff. I am going to be off in a couple of weeks for a whole week. So I'm looking forward to really getting out and making some content then. As most of you guys know, I work, Michael works. We don't get to stay home all week and dream up metal detecting content, do we, Michael?
I wish, but no, we don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've got jobs where we're all day gone, and so we're probably dreaming metal detecting while we're at our jobs or thinking about it, but we don't actually get to do it till usually the weekend. So,
Right.
Hopefully we'll be able to get out next weekend and do some detecting as well. So I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for being a part of our channel. Thank you for you guys that are members. Your membership definitely helps us out. We appreciate that. Hopefully there was something informative that you guys got out of the show tonight too. If you think of any other questions, you can leave them in a comment in the video, and I'll see about getting those questions answered for you. And we will hopefully see you guys next Friday night at 7:30. All right, guys, y'all take care. And we are out of here, and we'll catch you guys on our next adventure. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good week, guys.